Hello, greetings, and welcome to Zimbabwe Daily. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I'm excited that we are back in studio with these beautiful ladies. I'm so excited because we are coming to the 10th of December and we'll be launching seasons 2. I am so excited. We hosted them in 2022 talking about their first project, and today we are back in studio with the Women's Writers Support Network. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Awesome. It's good to see a new face. I'll start with you. Please kindly introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name is Crystabel Chikayi. I'm with the Women Writers Support Network, and I have a media's degree. I'm a journalist by profession.
Right.
Yes.
And I know that you're contributing to seasons 2. Is this your first time?
No, it's the second.
You contributed in the first one as well.
I contributed in the not seasons 1, but
Okay.
in A Cry of Hope and Freedom.
I see. Okay.
Right.
Right. And my sister, Mangwe.
It's good to be here. It's good to be here. I now call myself the resident journalist at Sympathy.
Exactly. This is home, away from home.
Thank you
Yes.
very much. My name is Sympathy Mangwenya and I'm the founder of the Women Writers Support Network.
Mhm. So, Sympathy, I know I've already said a lot in the first introduction, but for me, when you mentioned that seasons 2 is coming, I was taken back to seasons 1.
Okay.
And I was reading stories of women, going through different tumultuous seasons and finding healing in their writing. What is seasons 2 about?
So we continue with the healing journey. We get deeper because with seasons 1, yes, people share their stories, but I think people were like, does this work? Does writing therapy work? So some people, most of them, many wrote
Fiction.
fiction.
Yeah.
But now we get it deeper. Like it's either you're writing your story or you're writing someone else's story. But most of them are kind of inspired by true events.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I feel like there's so much growth even in terms of how people are writing.
Okay.
There is so much growth.
Right. And I want you to tell me a little bit about that, Kuti, as the Women's Writers Support Network. What exactly do you do? Do people subscribe? Do you do writing clinics? Just take us through the journey that led us firstly to the seasons 1 and the lessons that you learned with seasons 1 that you worked on for seasons 2.
Right. So basically, we started out as just healing through words, providing healing through writing, because, right now, so many people are going through so much in terms of their mental well-being. And I don't know why, as Africans, we don't really take care of our mental health. Tinoda kuti chinhu chirwadze ruoko rwangu rwaita ronda ndopandinoenda kunorapwa, but the heart doesn't bleed the way we see it.
Right.
The mind doesn't bleed the way we see it. So I can just walk around and be bleeding, but no one sees that.
Right.
So that's where we are saying that sometimes people I don't want to share my story with you. If when I'm going through, I don't want to do that. But I can do this in the comfort of my home, share my story to my paper.
Right.
And then through that, it has been proven that you are actually starting your healing journey. And when you continue journaling, sharing your issues, reading them out, pouring yourself onto it, for those that praying about the words that you've written, for those that believe in destroying evidence, burning it, it's a way of finding your healing. It's cheap, it's affordable, it's accessible, and it's private.
I like it's private. Because the moment you share a story, the next person, the next thing, the whole hood knows about it. But when you write and you tear for some, when you write it and you put a different name to it, you are able to find your healing. I'll come to you, Crystabel. How has the process been through the Women Writers Support Network? Do you see growth in yourself having contributed to the first season and now for the second edition?
Yes, definitely. I see a lot of growth. So the first piece that I wrote, it wasn't based on it was inspired by real events, but it was fiction,
Okay.
right? So now it was really 100% a true story.
Right.
You get it? I just changed a little bit and marinated a few things, but it's still it's a real story. And I hope that when someone reads it and they're going through the same, they know they can heal through writing. Because even when I was young, I used to, when I got really angry, I would just write a letter to the person who angered me and tear it after I'm done. You get it?
Yeah.
So when I met someone who introduced me to Women Writers Support Network, and I realized that's what they are nurturing, right? Healing through writing. I realized this is something that I've been doing the whole time. I just didn't know it's what I'm doing.
Right.
It really works. And so when I wrote this story, I was going through something. And by the time I finished, I placed the last full stop. I was back to me.
Right.
Right. So it really works. It really works.
Writing therapy.
Writing therapy works.
Right. Sympathy, take us through how many chapters are we looking to in seasons 2? Are there new faces in seasons 2? Where are they coming from? What does it look like? Get us in the book. I'm so excited right now.
So seasons 2 is flowery. So we haven't shared that's why I didn't even share with you the cover.
I know, right?
It's gonna be something that we unveil at the get together.
Flowery, does that inform how you guys came dressed?
So flowers are inspiring everything. Because we're saying, give yourself flowers, girl.
Right.
Yeah, don't wait for people, because people may never give you the flowers.
No.
They'll just wait for you when you're dead, and then they're like, rest in peace, flower, and that's it. So we gotta give ourselves flowers.
Right.
So these seasons 2, oh my goodness, it was, for the first one, we were like, people just write whatever you feel like writing. The length wasn't prescribed. This one was like 5,000 words.
Okay.
And that's a lot. That's like getting into an essay, back to school kind of thing. So it was really tough for most of the ladies. And as for new faces, we have 11 writers, and all of them are new except one.
Okay.
Yeah, we only have one person from the first seasons. And then we also have like her, Crystabel, is from the Palestine one. Yes, that one. So I think those are just the 2 that have contributed before. The rest are just new.
Wow.
Yeah, and they have the beauty of it, they've written different things. For example, just a pick, there's someone who has written about a fight within the in-law fights. You know, those things that are deep-rooted. She's like,
war is every corner.
Yeah, how can we stop this?
Yeah.
How can we bring love? And then there is another one where someone was writing about their journey with, they call it invisible disability.
Okay.
It was my first time hearing about that.
Okay.
Because they were saying that when it's a disability and do not know when we are school, it's easy to see. But when it's something that you can't tell, like, what am I going through, until you are told by the doctor that, okay, you're going through this.
Right.
So this person was saying that as they were growing up, they were called lazy, they were called this, but they didn't know what was going on with them. And they don't but I did not know until they were told they have a chronic illness. I've forgotten the name.
Okay.
Yes. So this person is writing about invisible illnesses that so many people have.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like, I don't know what's wrong with me. You can't tell. So the biggest thing is love as well.
Wow.
And then one, I'll just share this last one, which I found very interesting, about certain men who get married to the women, have children, but they're living double lives. In another way, they are also wives to other men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's I don't know, is it like it's happening in our country?
Right.
So people are beginning to speak about it.
Very interesting. For those of you who are just joining us, we're talking about seasons chapter 2. I love it because we looked at seasons chapter 1 where different women writers came together to come up with this book, and they shared different stories of resilience, like a writing therapy where one is able to express themselves in the form of paper, and then we share it with other women out there, because a lot of us are going through hidden grief. We're not talking about situations, but when you read about it, you realize that, you know what, I'm not the only one, and yes, I can actually find my healing in writing. And so the Women Writers Support Network was mentoring these women to be writers. And I'm so excited, Sympathy, because one of the persons who actually contributed to seasons 1 launched a book, Placidia.
Yes.
How does that make you feel, though?
Oh my goodness, like it makes me feel, I always say, like a mother adoring her children.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are older than me and whatever, but I feel like they're all my children
Yes.
when it comes to these.
Yes.
So it makes me feel like this dream is going beyond what I envisioned.
Right.
I didn't think it would ever go beyond just a few chapters here and there. It's already, when we launched the first book, it was just like, what?
Yeah.
And now we have also gotten into like different countries. We are on our push to get into Africa. So we've already launched 6 countries into the chapter.
I'm
So
excited
that's
about
all
that. Yeah.
about all that. So,
Yes, that's my sister there. Tell me about the 6 countries where you've launched this and what you're hoping to achieve in those spaces.
So we did a research. It was sort of a needs assessment kind of thing where we're thinking, okay, do women out there also face the things that we're facing here? Is there a need for writing therapy? So we're talking to different countries, and so far we have countries like Rwanda, we have South Africa, we have Kenya, Cameroon, trying to think of that, Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
I'm forgetting
Wow.
the other one, but yeah.
Like you're spread all over Africa. That's actually very good. Yeah.
Yes. So we did a needs assessment. We're like, what happens with women in your country?
Yeah.
And you would be shocked at some of the things. I believe we're all human beings. We go through the same things.
All right.
Sometimes someone shouts higher than or
Yeah.
louder than another.
Yeah.
And then when we are both pinched, and if she shouts more than me, we'll think that she is experiencing it more than I am. But all of us are going through things. You get to a country like Rwanda where they faced genocide. You still have those bleeding wounds even up to now. And in any situation, women face it more than anyone else. Yeah. So there is a greater need for healing therapy. And with South Africa, it has been very unique because men were saying we also want in. So
I like that.
Writers support.
I'm sure, yes. Actually, that would be incredible, because I realize also that men hardly share their stories. I mean, men have for long been told you gotta be strong, gotta be macho, and yet they've got a lot of wounds that are bleeding and that need also healing. So that would be quite an interesting take. Sympathy. Let's just put it there, right? And tell us about the grand launch. When is it happening? How do we get there? What do we need to bring? Blah, blah, blah.
So bring your beautiful selves, and as usual, elegance is the theme. We always love looking on point, because it's a time to celebrate. It's a time to celebrate 2 years of existence.
Right.
Because we're thinking, Tatashika.
Imagine.
So it's happening on the 10th of December. It's happening at the Grange Inn. And
where's the Grange Inn?
It's at the Grange.
Okay.
So along Enterprise,
Alright.
very, very go.
Right. Yeah, tikuitira okujecha kwatobva uko kuti Grange Inn iri uku Grange.
So we're trying to make sure that tunoita futi transport that will get people from here, because neshitobva kujecha kwangu futi. Saka we get people in town, and then
we go there. Okay.
It starts at 2 and to 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Yes.
Okay. I want to ask you, Crystabel, you've been quiet for a bit. How do you feel about all this?
I feel excited. I'm trying to find a better word, something better than excited. Like I'm on cloud 9 because this is big for me.
Right.
Right. It was a great experience, and I'm looking forward to more opportunities. You know, Women Writers Support Network has made me a published writer twice.
Right.
You get it?
Yeah.
So this is big for me. Like this platform, it's not everyone is getting it. Some don't even know about it yet.
Right.
So I feel lucky to know about them, and I feel very excited, and I can't wait to go to the launch.
Okay.
My dress is already there.
Yes, bring it on. And to other women out there who might maybe just bump into this video somehow and have never heard about writing therapy or the Women Writers Support Network, what would you say to them?
So I want to tell them that there's something called writing therapy. When you feel when you feel like it's too much and you can't share it with anyone, because we've been raised and told you don't share your problems, you just hang in there, and it kills. Something within you begins to die because you're just bottling all in, and you're not telling anyone, and you can't do anything about it. Sometimes you pray, but you just get tired at some point.
Right.
You have to tell someone. But then we think therapy is for the other cultures. It's not for us. We don't believe in therapy, most of us.
Yeah.
We're not raised that way. So it's better to take your pen or take your phone and start typing. Just put it out there. Just skip your name, but just put it out there. It really helps. You are offloading in a way. So instead of telling someone, you are just sharing it with the world. You're sharing your story for them to know. And you're also helping someone who is in the same situation with you. Right. Because at the end, you're going to write a solution, maybe that worked for you, and someone will read it and they will learn something from that. Or they'll just get hope from reading your story. So if you are out there and you haven't tried writing therapy, just try it. One word at a time.
Everyone has a story to tell.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so touched and so inspired. Sympathy. I think some of us will never get tired of just saying it. Like, it's really amazing the work that you're doing, and seeing the prospects of that growth and that diversifying and expansion into the region, and just being able to tell the story of women. Especially the Palestine story that you did last year as well, and then suddenly we have chaos that's happening in that region. It's heartbreaking because it means we are continually in that cycle of pain and trauma, and there is that need for healing to take place in the world. So just to end this conversation, any last words that you'd want to share with us? Any of those, under the drawer stuff that we don't know that is happening? We love all that juicy stuff that's happening, and just the prospects of what are you looking forward to? What is your hope for the woman out there in Zimbabwe? What is your hope for the woman out there in Africa? What is your hope for the woman out there?
Right. The biggest hope is for us to know that you are not alone. There is someone who is ready to listen to you. Whenever we have something that we call Gratitude Day, Friday, and we call it like the healing day, we're like, look at your wins, small or big. Even if it's just waking up, say it. And when we say it in the group, you hear people just saying, thank you very much. I didn't think that this was something I could be grateful for.
Right.
And also like the need to heal our childhood traumas, because most people are showing right now what things they have gone through as a child.
Right.
There's that 5-year-old who hasn't healed in a body of a 30-year-old. And that is really crazy dangerous, because wherever they're going to be, they may bleed not just on themselves, but on everyone else. So you see someone being toxic at work, at church, wherever they are, they just pity everywhere. So we're saying here is a platform for you to heal without judgment,
Right.
for you to believe in sisterhood, because we don't believe in anyone being so toxic against another. Any feeling that someone is going through is valid, and it has to be appreciated and applauded until that person has found their healing.
Right.
So for me, I want to see a healed woman, because that woman will build Mushawake, will build the nation, will build the church.
And how do we get more women involved? Seasons 3 is coming. How do we get more women, new women, to come on board under the network? Where do we get you? How do you come to us? Wekuma Rosefa to Papi.
So we're doing also what are they called? Like getting into, is it devolution? That's a big word, but tulakushika kwese. So far we have like representation kana muri Zimbabwe of all the provinces that we have.
Okay.
So we want to have that place where someone at Uganda can say kuti ndoda kuenda ikoko kunoita sei, ndoda kuunganidza vanhu vangu vekugwanda wotaura navo, voita a chapter there. So we want to try and push into that. And we're also getting into having like video formats of our stories. We're moving into audio. We're getting it. We're making it very, very exciting. Yeah.
Right. I love the fact that you started, and now as you grow, you begin to see possibilities of greater things. Yeah. Congratulations, ladies, and we look forward to to the launch on the. But why the 10th though? I'm like, seriously, why the 10th?
Pre-party, because we don't want when people are going Mamisha, we don't want to disturb them.
Do you know that it's International Human Rights Day?
Oh, so thank you for that information. Start to remove spirit. Because we're talking human rights.
Right.
Yes.
Excellent. Women's rights, human rights, all right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ladies. It's always a pleasure having you in studio. I look forward to actually reading seasons 2. Wow. Tabuna mu fiction, takwenda ku reality. It's so
Yes.
amazing. Just what a platform like that does to people, and allows people to actually get in, like relax, and then begin to feel that they can safely share their stories without judgment. So yes, that's the conversation we're having here with Sympathy and Crystabel, coming through from the Women's Writers Support Network, a platform where they are supporting women writers. So yes, if you're a woman and you've got a story to tell and you have no idea how to go about it, Sympathy is there for that, and she knows how to steer you in the right direction. If you're afraid of coming up with a full book, you can always contribute a chapter for the next season's book. So don't be afraid of venturing out into this uncharted water for you. But once you're in it, trust me, you won't want to leave. So thank you so much for tuning in. This was In Studio With, where we're talking seasons chapter 2, the launch happening on the 10th of December 2023. Where will you be? Bye-bye for now.